This one's wife. No aides contacted my dad. Hello, I'm HG Tudor. So in the earlier video, I explained to you that as a consequence of her misfiring cognitive empathy and the necessity of nullifying the threat to control posed by criticism of her not contacting her father, this one's wife's narcissism caused her to instruct her aides to find out if he really was unwell and then make that information known to the world at large. We now move to Act 2, where the Daily Express US tells us, in an article by Sophia Papamrudi, this one's wife's 5-word statement on Father Thomas's amputation surgery. This one's wife's spokesperson has issued a statement after it was claimed the Duchess of Sussex instructed aides to verify her father's ill health. This one's wife has refuted allegations that she contacted her father, Thomas Markle, after his recent hospitalisation. It's okie-dokie time. The Duchess of Sussex's father was reportedly admitted to hospital with one leg allegedly requiring amputation. Mr. Markle was said to have endured a 3-hour surgical procedure due to a life-threatening emergency, according to his son Thomas Jr. Subsequent reports suggested that this one's wife, who has been disconnected from her father, well, he is an appliance, I suppose, so disconnected might be an apt description, since 2018, directed staff to confirm the reports of her father's medical condition. The Times reported the Duchess was believed to have been unaware of her father's health situation before it became public knowledge. Nevertheless, this one's wife's representatives dismissed the allegations, releasing an uncommon 5-word response. They told the Daily Express, "This is a complete fabrication." The spokesperson continued, "No aides have been instructed to reach out." Okay. So on the one hand, Kate Mansi has just decided, as a consequence perhaps of some kind of fever dream, to tell everybody this one's wife's aides were instructed to find out if Thomas Markle Sr. was ill. Now, it is a possibility that she has made that up, but I think that it's far more likely, knowing the previous behaviours of this one's wife and her narcissism, that that information was leaked to her as an attempt to nullify the threat to control posed by the failure of this one's wife to act in relation to her father's illness. Accordingly, the information is leaked to suggest that she'd instructed aides to find out, and as I explained in the first video, this is representative of her cognitive empathy misfiring. She has no emotional empathy to guide her towards what would ordinarily be viewed as the appropriate response. People then react to this news that she's there, issuing instructions to these aides as if she were sat upon some kind of throne. And of course, it's disapproval. Who does she think she is? How grandiose of her. Really? She's telling aides to find out if he's ill? She doesn't even believe it? Which of course means that further threats to control arise. So what's the response? The response is that her spokespeople turn and say, "Oh, the suggestion that she instructed aides to find out whether her father was unwell, that's a complete fabrication. That didn't happen." Okay. So Kate Mansi must have made it up then. So you see how the narcissism operates. In Act 1, or let's go further back, let's call it Act 0. Thomas Markle Sr. falls ill. This one's wife doesn't respond. She faces criticism. Challenge fuel, multiple threats to control. Act 1. Instruct aides to find out if father is ill, or claim that's what you've done, but ensure information is leaked to the Times. put it out there in an attempt to show, see, I do actually care. I've instructed my aides to find out if he's ill or not. Misfiring cognitive empathy, seeking to nullify the threat to control posed by the earlier omission in Act 0. What then follows from that behaviour in Act 1? Further criticism. What? She's instructed aides to find out if her father is unwell. Along comes Act 2. Okay, narcissism says, further threats to control, we need to nullify those threats to control, and this is how we'll do it. We'll simply say that no aides were instructed. Which makes Kate Mansi look like she's a liar, not that this one's wife will care about that. And it is the typical revision of history that is undertaken by a narcissist. No, that didn't happen. No, it's completely wrong. My needs are that the truth needs to be this now. And that's what you get. So now the Daily Express is reporting that her spokespeople have made it very clear that the contacting the aides situation didn't happen. No aides contacted her father or sought to find out what was going on. That was a complete fabrication. Or rather, this is a complete fabrication. That's pretty unequivocal wording, isn't it? No aides have been instructed to reach out. So we have a revision of history. And once again, this shows you how the narcissism operates moment by moment. And as I've made clear to you on so many previous occasions, this one's wife's narcissism is not sophisticated enough for it to consider the ramifications of her actions in the moment. All it is focused on is the pursuit of the prime aims in the moment. And you can see this with the Act 1 and the Act 2, which when you look at it in aggregate, you can see, well, she's claiming someone's lying. She's completely changed her position. She's revising history. This is making her look even worse. But of course, she doesn't see that because her narcissism doesn't allow her to look and observe and notice that this is what is taking place. And so what you're doing is getting a classic example of the unaware narcissist, whereby in the moment, the narcissism is trying to get to the prime aims. But when you stand back and look at the succession of events in aggregate, you can see that it is, for want of a better description, an absolute clusterfuck. And this is why the narcissist invariably gets found out or caught out. Because if you wait long enough, as I've explained in my brilliant video, Give the Narcissist Enough Rope, the unsophisticated, unaware narcissist will out themselves as a consequence of this compulsion through their narcissism to act in the moment. And when you look at a string of moments, you are then able to see the contradictions, the revisions of history, the hypocrisy, etc., based upon the evidence. So here we have a volte-face, no aides contacted her father to try and find out what was going on. But it's not over yet. There's an Act 3. Join me in my next video to find out what then happens next. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.